boundaries this, boundaries that. There's all these boundaries. How do I set loving boundaries as I'm going about my twin flame journey? This is going to be a 2-part series of 6 steps to setting healthy, loving boundaries in your relationships on your twin flame healing journey. Today we're going to go through the first 3. My name is Anna and I am a certified twin flame ascension coach with Twin Flames Universe. And I want to just specifically talk to divine feminines today about setting boundaries. And I often see my clients dealing with some unsavory behavior from their masculine twin flame. And unfortunately, most of us have never been taught how to actually have healthy boundaries in our relationships. I do notice a lot of ideas in modern society that are actually putting up walls in relationships rather than setting healthy boundaries and having healthy relationships. And this is a core tenet of having a healthy twin flame relationship, that you must have healthy boundaries in your relationship, particularly if you are still healing through some really challenging things between you and your twin flame. Just because someone is your twin flame doesn't mean that you accept abuse or bad behavior from them. And even outside of your twin flame relationship, whether it is a friend or a parent or a sibling, these roles also apply to those relationships. We're going to go over the first 3 steps to having healthy boundaries in your relationships. Whenever you're setting a healthy boundary, not putting up walls, is that this is meant to be loving, not punitive. You're not trying to punish the person that you are setting a boundary with. By the way, even if it's someone that you don't desire to have a direct relationship with, you still don't need to punish them whenever you are setting your boundary with them. You are ready to have more for yourself and choose more love to invite into your life. And you're noticing that some of these behaviors that this person that you're wanting to set a boundary with are not loving. But you can model that love to them by lovingly setting a boundary. You don't need to meet them in their nastiness and chaos, control, all of the things that maybe you're experiencing in this relationship and you're wanting to put a stop to. So how do you know if this is something you're doing from a place of love or you're trying to be punitive and you're doing it from a place of fear? Well, you can simply feel into your heart here and truly choose to be honest with yourself whenever you ask yourself, where is this boundary coming from? Why am I trying to do this? Am I doing this from a place of fear? Am I afraid in some way? And therefore I'm trying to change this thing because I'm afraid? Or do I truly feel love and peace in my heart that this is the right thing to do and that I can do this from a place of love and loving? One of the key ways that you can know if you're setting a healthy boundary or if you're putting up a wall is by asking yourself, am I closing myself off by setting this boundary? Or am I using it as a means to stay open and to actually have a healthy relationship? Or am I trying to run away from and to close off this relationship? And if you find that there's fear there and you're trying to run away from something, it's okay. You can simply choose to heal it And you can do that very easily with the mirror exercise and move on from there. Just always make sure that you're coming from a place of love, not meanness and being punitive to the other person. Number 2 is that you must release the need to handle the other person's emotions. And you must be prepared that there's a good chance that if you are setting a boundary, even if you are doing it from a place of love, there's a good chance that the other person is not going to be very happy about it. There are going to be some emotions that come up for them. And it's okay. Those emotions, that person and their feelings, are not your responsibility, whether it is your twin flame or anybody else. They are responsible for themselves, and it is okay for you to allow them that right and that freedom that it gives them for them to take responsibility for themselves. You simply choosing to love yourself here and come from a place of love and not try to manage their emotions is going to set the tone and invite them into that more loving choice. Now, that doesn't mean that they have to choose that, especially if it's not your twin flame. But you can always invite them. That is the only thing that you can really do, because you aren't responsible for them. Really, it's them that is responsible for themselves, but only God is the one that they answer to. It's never you, and you don't answer to them as well. You only ever answer to yourself and to the God within you, to the love within you. Number 3, our final one for today, is to be clear, firm, and concise. You don't have to do a whole bunch of explaining about your boundary. You don't have to justify your boundary to the other person. If you're feeling like you need to justify your boundary, there's a good possibility that you're not feeling very peaceful about this boundary that you're trying to set anyways. And you're probably not going to get very far with it, which means what I'm saying is that if you're not feeling good about it yourself, you're going to have a hard time honoring your own boundary in this place. So you don't need to explain yourself. Make sure that your words are clear. Words do matter. Make sure that you are communicating very clearly. And whenever you're communicating with love, it also naturally brings clarity to your communication, because there's not a bunch of fluff, there's not a bunch of explanation and like trying to justify anything in there. You're simply communicating exactly what it is that the other person needs to know. You also don't have to be mean whenever you set a boundary. You, once again, are not being punitive about setting this boundary. You're doing it from a place of love and peace within your own heart. So you can be kind but firm about it. Being kind is not always necessarily being nice. Those are not the same things, but kindness is rooted in true love. You are being kind to this person by choosing to see their higher self and what they are capable of, what you are inviting into your relationship with them, which is more love, and healthy boundaries help you cultivate more love into your relationship. And so you can be kind, but you don't need to always be nice. Sometimes it's difficult to hear the truth, and you're not responsible for their feelings, and that is okay. It's safe to surrender any responsibility that you may feel, and also choose to be kind in your communication. Kind, concise, and firm. As you are going about your twin flame journey, you are going to be asked to look at all of your relationships and see which ones are loving and which ones are maybe not bringing more love into your life, because this is what you're doing by healing on your twin flame journey. You're inviting more love into your life, more peace. And so you're going to be asked to probably set some boundaries, to learn how to have healthier relationships, because your relationships are so important. And by the way, by having healthy boundaries in your relationships, you communicate that your relationship with this person is important, and that it is simply that you want to have a healthy relationship with them instead of just any old relationship that you're getting at this time. And it's because you value yourself and you value your relationship with this person. I'll tell you that the teachings of union at Twin Flames Universe have really taught me so much about having healthy relationships, not just with my twin flame, but in all of my relationships, because they really can make or break your experience in your life. Whenever you learn to have a healthy relationship with yourself, you naturally also learn to have healthy relationships with others. Next week, we will go through the final 3 points on how to have healthy boundaries in your relationships, how to set healthy boundaries in your relationships. So watch for that video. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, share, and leave me some comments. And I'd love to know what you would love to learn about. Let me know if you agree with these things that I'm saying about boundaries, what you might add to setting healthy boundaries and having healthy relationships. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you again soon.